What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the United Devils YouTube channel. My name is Arion, and today we will be taking a look at the predicted 11 for the Manchester United Monday Night Football fixture against Southampton. So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side are returning back to Old Trafford after a trip to Aston Villa and a comfortable 3-0 victory. United are undefeated in 17 now in all competitions. They haven't lost since the restart. They haven't lost in the Premier League since January 26th. It was that 2-0 defeat to Burnley away from home. And now with the Chelsea result going United's way after a 3-0 defeat to Chris Wilder's Sheffield United, who United did put away quite comfortably just a week ago, United are now in position to finish this game week in the top four and as high as third if Leicester's result also goes to plan on Sunday. So Solskjaer has been talking in the press conferences in the build-up to this Southampton game, which is going to be a huge match back in Manchester, about the need for some rotation. United are in line to play 3 games in the span of 7 days next week as they face Southampton on Monday, then an away trip to Crystal Palace on Thursday, and then there's also the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea on Sunday. So it's going to be a busy week, and it would be quite surprising to see Solskjaer field an unchanged 11 in all of those. So the question is, do you rotate for the game on Monday, which is at home against the Southampton side that has looked decent in recent weeks, and with a surging Danny Ings playing up front for them, or do you risk it by going away to London and fielding a weaker, perhaps 11 there in order to give some players rest before the huge FA Cup semi-final, which is, of course, one of United's 2 chances at securing a trophy this season. So it's going to be interesting, and I would expect that Solskjaer will rotate for this Southampton game with the comfort of it being at home. And even though there is no fans, it just still, the pitch and everything is just more familiar for the players nonetheless. And I do believe that there is still a home advantage. So I think United might look to capitalise on that here and then go with a more stronger side away to Palace in a game that could prove to be a little more difficult just because of that foreign turf that the team is not used to. So for the Southampton game, I think I will go with, of course, David De Gea will retain his place in goal, with Sergio Romero potentially stepping back in for the semi-final on Sunday, but that is still to be confirmed, as United have in the past shown that De Gea comes back in for the bigger games, even in the Cups. So that's going to be an interesting one. But I think De Gea retains his spot in goal for the Southampton game. I think Arion Wan-Bissaka still starts at right back. He got taken off against Villa for Brandon Williams. He got some rest, so I think he will be fresh and ready to go for Monday, as well as Thursday against his former club. I think he will also play in that one. But I think Arion Wan-Bissaka keeps his spot at centre-back. I think Solskjaer might rotate here. I think Harry Maguire will stay in the team, as he is the guy for Solskjaer to go to kind of keep that defensive solidity, and he rarely gets a game off. So once he's fit, he plays. So the skipper will play, and I think alongside him we will see Eric Bailly play at Old Trafford, and that could be a good option too against a quite quick and hard-working Southampton front line, featuring the likes of Che Adams, Danny Ings, Nathan Redmond, and the likes of those, and also quick fullbacks as well. So the services of Eric Bailly and also allowing him to get some more match sharpness into his legs might be the move here. And I think on the left, Luke Shaw might get a night off, and I think Brandon Williams will step back in and get his first start since the restart. The young left back has came on the bench now and again. It looks like he has now got himself in the pecking order ahead of Diogo Dalot on the right side, but I think his natural position in this United team for now is still the left-hand side, which he has shown to be very capable in this season during his breakout year, and I think he will get his first start of the season against the Saints, giving Luke Shaw, who has played a ton of football since the restart, a well-deserved break ahead of 2 crucial games, one away, of course, in London on midweek, excuse me, and then one more, of course, back at Wembley on Sunday. In midfield, there is a chance that Nemanja Matic might get a night off, because the common belief between United fans is that he just shouldn't be playing every week at his age. There needs to be that smart rotation there with Matic, who is, of course, 32-year-old right now, and the role that he has been playing with Pogba and Bruno in front of him maybe hasn't required him to do as much running, but still, you just need to nurture those older players a little bit more, like Sir Alex Ferguson used to do with some of his older statesmen in the squad. And I think that this could be a good opportunity in against a team that's very dynamic and presses well, like Southampton, to play somebody like Fred or Scott McTominay in there. So I would say that Scott McTominay will play ahead of Nemanja Matic in this one, with Matic getting some rest and playing the 2 games later in the week. And depending on whether Paul Pogba, it looked like he picked up a little bit of a knock coming off against Aston Villa, coming off the pitch, but it did look like cramps. Hopefully there was no news from Solskjaer in the press conferences about it, so it does seem like Pogba is fine and he will be fit to play. So I would imagine that with this last game being on Thursday and United getting time off until Monday, that Pogba and Bruno will line out ahead of Scott McTominay in this one and continue their great run since starting that Sheffield United game a couple of weeks ago, and showing that they can in fact play together as long as they have somebody just sitting and patrolling the area and behind them. So I do think that Pogba and Bruno will continue to line out against all these teams, with United's running being very important right now, with 4 wins being needed from 4 games remaining, future in United's hands, top 4 fate in United's hands. So those wins are important, and of course with how lethal United have looked going forward, Solskjaer has had the comfort of taking players off after 60, 70 minutes and giving them that extra rest. So I think he will be hoping for more of the same here, with United looking very dominant at Old Trafford, for Pogba and Bruno to line out here, start the game, put the game to bed quite early in an ideal case scenario, and then take them off and let them recover for the next game, which is going to be just less than 3 days later. And then, of course, in front of Pogba and Fernandes, there's a little less room for comfort there, because that front 3 has been firing on all cylinders in the past couple of weeks, and the players that are coming on for them haven't looked as sharp. And I think if they're fit, you just have to play them. Rashford has gotten more minutes into his tank. He has looked a lot better in terms of the overall build-up play. A little rusty still in front of goal, but you just feel that open play goal is coming. Martial got some rest against Aston Villa. He came off after around 60 minutes. And he wasn't very happy about it either, meaning he is hungry for goals, and that's the development that you want to see from your number 9. So Martial got some rest, and also Greenwood came off earlier in that game too, giving the youngster some rest after scoring in 3 consecutive Premier League games following the restart. So I would believe that Solskjaer will keep that front 3 intact. I think if somebody gets a rest, it might be Rashford, because he got a full 90 in against Villa, and it's still kind of trying to control his return after a serious injury. So I do feel that if anybody does get rest, Dan James might start over Marcus Rashford, but not in my predicted lineup. I think that front 3 stays intact, and United just go all out, all guns blazing. Try to start the game better than they did against Aston Villa. Get into the game early, control it, put it to bed, and then hopefully utilize those 5 subs to continue giving players rest during this hectic schedule. And just managing the injury, which, touch wood, so far United have not had problems with, and just continue the hot streak, continue the winning run. So yeah, United, Southampton, Monday Night Football, predicted lineup: De Gea in goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back, Bailly, Maguire in the middle, Brandon Williams coming in at left back, Scott McTominay then just in front of him, slotting in for Nemanja Matic, Pogba and Bruno ahead, and the front 3 of Martial, Rashford and Greenwood retaining their places and hopefully leading United to another victory.